What makes motorcycle accident cases different? In a car accident, people usually look at the damage to the bumpers. In a motorcycle case, we are looking at a person's life being turned upside down. Think of a car like a suit of armor, and a motorcycle like running at 60 miles per hour. Because there is no metal frame to protect you, the insurance companies often try to use a biker bias. They try to paint you as a risk taker just because you are on two wheels. We have to work twice as hard to show you were the responsible one. Imagine a jury as a group of people who mostly drive minivans. They might not understand why you were leaning into a turn or why you were in a certain part of the lane. We have to educate them that riding a motorcycle is a skill, not a stunt. We use experts to explain that what looked like swerving to a car driver was actually you safely avoiding a pothole or debris. Why are motorcycle injuries often more serious? It's all about physics. If two cars bump at 20 miles per hour, they might just need a new coat of paint. If a car hits a motorcycle at 20 miles per hour, the rider is often thrown up through the air and onto the pavement. You don't have airbags or seat belts to catch you. This leads to catastrophic injuries, things like road rash that act like a severe burn, broken bones, or internal damage that you can't see from the outside. Think of your body like an egg, and the road like a frying pan. Even with the best gear, the human body isn't meant to stop instantly from high speeds. This is why we see so many traumatic brain injuries or spinal issues in these cases. These aren't just boo-boos, they are injuries that can require doctors and physical therapy for the rest of your life. What should I do after a motorcycle accident? Imagine you are a detective at a crime scene. Your first job is to survive. Get to the side of the road and call 911. If you aren't too hurt to move, your second job is to freeze the evidence. Collect names of people who saw it, take photos, and don't let the other driver talk you into handling it privately without the police. Finally, go to the doctor immediately to make sure that you don't have any hidden injury like a brain bleed. Even if the other driver seems nice, don't assume they will stay nice once they talk to their insurance company. People change their stories faster than a traffic light changes colors. By calling the police and getting a report, you are making sure the truth is written down in black and white before anyone has a chance to forget. Should I take pictures after a motorcycle accident? Yes! Photos are like a time machine for your lawyer. Once the tow truck arrives and the glass is swept away, the evidence is gone. Take pictures of your bike's damage, the other car's position, the street signs, and even the weather conditions. If your helmet is scratched or your jacket is torn, photograph those too. They prove how hard you hit the ground. Don't just take 1 or 2 photos, take 20, take 30. Get close-ups of the paint transfers where the car's paint rubbed off on your bike. Take wide shots of the whole intersection to show where the sun was or if a tree was blocking a sign. These pictures tell a story that the insurance company can't argue with later on. Should I report the motorcycle accident to the police? Always. A police report is the official referee scorecard of the accident. Without it, the other driver might tell their insurance company a totally different story the next day. The police will document things like skid marks and whether the other driver was distracted or under the influence. It is the foundation of your entire legal case. In Colorado, the police report often includes a diagram of how the crash happened. This is a huge piece of the puzzle. If the officer gives the other driver a ticket for careless driving or failing to yield, that is a giant golden nugget for your case. It makes it harder for the insurance company to blame you. Should I get medical treatment right away? Don't try to tough it out. When you're in a crash, your body pumps out adrenaline, which is like a natural painkiller that masks injuries. You might feel fine today and be unable to walk tomorrow. If you wait a week to see a doctor, the insurance company will claim you weren't actually hurt in the crash. Think of a doctor's visit as insurance for your health and your claim. Think of your body like a car engine. After a big wreck, you might not see the smoke. There could be a leak deep inside. Doctors can use X-rays and MRIs to see what's happening under the hood. Getting treated early also creates a paper trail that proves your injuries came from the accident and not something else. What should I avoid doing after a motorcycle accident? There are two big no-nos. First, never say I'm sorry at the scene. In the legal world, saying sorry is like signing a confession that it wasn't your fault. Second, do not sign any papers from the other driver's insurance company. They might offer you a small check to go away, but if you take it, you lose your right to get your medical bills paid later. Also, avoid talking about the details of the crash with anyone except your doctor and your lawyer. Even a casual chat with the other driver's insurance adjusters can be dangerous. They are trained to ask trick questions that make it sound like you are speeding or not paying attention. Silence is golden until you have an expert by your side. Can I post about my motorcycle accident on social media? Treat all social media like a no-fly zone. Insurance adjusters are professional internet detectives. If you post a photo of yourself at a family dinner, they will argue you aren't suffering enough to deserve compensation. Even a simple "I'm okay" post can be used against you. It's best to go ghost on social media until your lawyer says otherwise. Think of it this way: the insurance company is looking for any reason to pay you less. If you post a video of you walking your dog, they'll claim your leg injury isn't real. They don't see the pain you felt after that walk. They only see the 10 seconds of you looking fine. Protect your case by keeping your private life private. Why is it important to act quickly? Evidence has an expiration date. Security camera footage gets deleted every few days, and witnesses start to forget details. If we start right away, we can send out preservation letters to make sure that video footage is saved. The sooner we start, the easier it is to prove exactly what the other driver did wrong. It's like trying to find footprints in the snow. If you wait too long, the sun melts them away, or new snow covers them up. In a legal case, melting snow is a witness moving away or a car being crushed for scrap metal before we can inspect it. Speed is your best friend in building a strong case. How long do I have to file a claim in Colorado? In Colorado, you generally have a 3-year timer for motor vehicle accidents. This is called the statute of limitations. If you miss that date by even 1 minute, you can never get a dime for your injuries. However, if a city or government vehicle hit you, that timer can be much shorter. Don't wait until the last minute to start the clock. Think of this like a boarding gate at an airport. Once it closes, it doesn't matter how good your reason is, you aren't getting on that plane. 3 years sounds like a long time, but it flies by when you are busy with surgeries and recovery. Starting early gives your lawyers the time needed to negotiate properly without being rushed. What if the insurance company offers a quick settlement? A quick check is usually a lowball offer. They want to pay you $2,000 now before you realize you have a $20,000 medical bill coming. It's like selling a house before you check if the roof is leaking. We wait until you have reached MMI, or maximum medical improvement, which is a fancy way of saying your doctor knows exactly what your recovery looks like. Insurance companies are businesses, and their goal is to keep their money. They know that right after a crash, you might be worried about rent or grocery money, so they dangle a small check to tempt you. Don't bite that bait. We make every single penny of your future medical needs is counted before we even think about settling. Should I talk to the other driver's insurance adjuster? Simple answer, no. The adjuster is not your friend. Their job is to save their company money. They might record your conversation and try to trip you up with a trick question. Let your lawyer be your shield. We speak the same language they do, and we won't let them twist your words, make the accident look like your fault. Talking to an adjuster is like playing a game where they wrote the rule book and you haven't even seen it. They might ask, "How are you today?" And if you say, "I'm fine," they'll use that to prove you weren't actually injured. We handle the talking so you can handle the healing. So what has to be proven in a motorcycle accident case? We have to build a bridge of 4 parts. So 1, the driver had a duty to drive safely. 2, they broke that duty like texting or speeding. 3, that mistake caused the crash. 4, the crash caused your specific injuries. Now, we use evidence like police reports, crash experts, and medical records to build that bridge. Even if one piece of that bridge is missing, the whole thing can fall apart. That's why we look at every detail, like whether the driver was working at the time, which could make their company responsible, or if the road itself was dangerous. We leave no stone unturned to make sure that bridge is solid. Do surveillance and helmet cams help? They are the best silent witnesses that we can have. A camera doesn't have a bad memory, and it doesn't take sides. If your GoPro caught a car turning left directly into your path, it's very hard for the insurance company to argue with that. We look for footage from traffic cams, doorbells, and nearby businesses to show the truth. In most Colorado cities, there are cameras at almost every big intersection, but that footage is usually recorded over in a few days or weeks. That's why it's so important to call a lawyer immediately. We can move fast to grab that video before it's gone forever. What if the driver says they never saw the motorcycle? This is the most common thing we hear, but "I didn't see him" is actually an admission of negligence. It means they weren't looking. Whether you were in their blind spot or they were looking for other cars, it was their legal job to see you. We use accident reconstruction experts to show that you were right there to be seen if they had only been paying attention. Drivers often have inattentional blindness. Their brains are looking for cars, so they filter out motorcycles. But the law says they have to look for everything on the road. We hold them accountable for that look but didn't see mistake every single day. What damages can I recover? Damages is just the legal word for the money you need to get your life back to normal. This includes economic things like hospital bills and lost paychecks, but it also includes non-economic things, which is money for your physical pain, the stress you went through, and the fact that you can't enjoy your hobbies like you used to. Think of it like a broken vase. You can always glue the pieces back perfectly, so the person who broke it has to pay for the value of the vase. If you can't work for 6 months, they owe you those 6 months of pay. If you can never ride again, that is a huge loss that deserves compensation. Can I still recover damages if I was not wearing a helmet? Yes, you can. In Colorado, adults aren't legally required to wear helmets, so not wearing one doesn't make the accident your fault. The other side might try to say your head injuries were worse off because of it, but they still have to pay for the crash they caused. Don't let them tell you that no helmet means no case. It's like if someone gets into a fight and punches a person wearing glasses. The person who threw the punch is still responsible for the injury. Even if the glasses made the cut worse, we focus on the fact that the driver caused the impact in the first place. Do I have a case if I was partially at fault? Colorado uses a comparative fault rule. Think of it like a 100% pie. If a jury says you were 10% at fault for speeding and the driver was 90% at fault for hitting you, you still get 90% of the money. As long as you are less than 50% responsible, you can still win your case. If you are 51% at fault, you get nothing. That's why the insurance company will try everything they can to push your percentage up. They might say you were lane splitting or weaving. Our job is to fight back with facts and keep your percentage as low as possible.